Part 2. Rarity nodded sincerely, no hint of falsehood anywhere. You're a friend of Twilight's. I think that much is clear. No matter what you did to me, I trust your judgment. If she's also trust you as a friend, and I see no reason I shouldn't as well. Besides, circumstances have punished you far more than what you deserved. Doing anything more now would be cruel. I think we should just let bygones be bygones. You know, sis, called Sleebell, stamping into the room and tripping, sending her sister's glasses falling into the air, was thankfully caught telekinetically by the older unicorn. In a totally awesome manner. I'll fuck you, sweetie bed, said Rarity, running over and helping her little sister up. Fuck you, sweetie bed, said Rarity, hurrying over and helping her little sister up. Now do please try to keep out of the way. I know you mean well, but sometimes too many cooks spoil the broth. Rarity, Sweetbell blinked in confusion. I'm thinking you're making dresses. It's an expression. It means having too many ponies working on one thing. Even though they're all good at it, it could cause it to turn out badly, explained Rarity, trying to be gentle with her baby sister. Even if Sleebell attempted to cause more harm than good in the boutique, she didn't want to outright tell her she couldn't help because of it. Trixie needs to stop, you understand. Plus, I am trying to get finished early to spend time with you later. Sleebell gave an understanding nod. It looked a little disappointed. I understand, sis. Trixie looked at Twilight in surprise. Twilight, you consider me, Trixie, your friend? Twilight nodded sincerely, giving a warm smile to the unicorn. Yes, Trixie, I do. I admit, I wouldn't have been the first to say it a few days ago, but now I've actually gotten to know you, I honestly consider you a friend, especially after you helped me last night. Trixie looked conflicted and uncertain as Twilight said that. Desperate to change the subject to something less awkward, she looked at Sweetbell. Trixie didn't know Rarity had a little sister. Twilight nodded, allowing Trixie to change the subject. She doesn't live here, but she visits a lot. Her name's Sweetbell. Trixie watched Rarity nuzzle her little sister and vice versa. They looked very happy together. Trixie's ears lowered sadness as she watched the happy siblings. She shook it off as best she could. She walked over. Rarity, what job does Trixie do? Rarity turned to look at Trixie. It's quite simple, she said, showing her sewing machine. Simply stitch these patches into these dresses, she explained, showing patches with symbols on them, and a number of very beautiful dresses, each decorated with gems of all types. As was Rarity's style. One was essentially covered in sapphires. They're labeled by names and dresses and have an outline where patches go. So if you pay attention, nothing should go wrong, she explained, having been extra careful to make sure nothing went amiss. She normally only do the work herself, but in this case she made an exception. I need to get this work done quickly. I have a client coming by to pick up the dresses later today, and I have to help Applejack prepare for a very important fair in Canterlot afterwards, so I can take Sweetie Belle and her friends on a camping trip, she said, giving her little sister a smile. Camping? Asked Trixie, surprised to hear in her face that. Isn't that a little dirty for your taste? Last time Trixie saw you, you ran for the hills from having your mare a little messed up. It's just hot unclean, and I don't particularly enjoy getting dirty, admitted Rarity before looking to her sister. But my sister matters more to me than getting my hooves a little muddy. Sweetbell nodded, smiling up at her big sister. Mary and I do stuff like this all the time. Well, ever since the sisterhood social. Twilight saw Trixie's confusion at the social. It's a yearly competition between teams of sisters at Sweet Apple Acres. Sweetbell and Rarity came in second last time. Is something wrong? She asked, nosy Trixie looking rather upset and distant and mentioned. Oh, nothing wrong. Trixie was just simply lost in thought. Again, said Trixie, shaking it off. Wait, I thought you were Trixie, stated a rather confused Sweetbell. That's right, said Trixie, looking back at the confused feeling with a raised eyebrow. Then, why are you keep talking about yourself like you're another person? Asked Sweetbell with a raised eyebrow of her own. Trixie wasn't sure if she was mimicking her or just equally confused. Trixie speaks in the third person, Sweetie Belle, explained Rarity, looking to her little sister. This caused Sweetie Belle to look even more confused. But there's only one of her. Rarity gave a sigh, but understood her little sister was still a filly. A third person means she talks about herself like she was a different person. Like how when Princess Luna was here, when she called herself we instead of I, it's just a specific manner of speaking. Oh, says Sweetie Belle, giving a small smile. Okay, I think I get. This is really cool, she exclaimed, much to Trixie's visible surprise. Rarity turned to Trixie. So we get to work, she asked, heading over to the sewing machine and getting to work. Flowing her sewing to her face. Trixie went over, her jaw dropped when she saw the names listed. Sapphire Swords, Hoity-toity, Spitfire, Octavia, she exclaimed in utter disbelief. And don't forget Rara. You're making dresses for all these famous ponies. Rarity gave a small, prideful nod. Yes, I get quite a few clients here. The Hoity-toity ordered designs in bulk for his new fashion line, second year in a row, so he's got quite a few. And Sapphire Swords is a regular customer. That's why I keep a big supply of sapphires around. I must also admit I was recommended by Octavia to Pinkie Pie by our ponies. I didn't even know the two knew each other. She's also a personal friend of Fancy Pants, bragged Spike, standing close to Rarity as he possibly could. Rarity didn't mind either action. Fancy Pants? The Fancy Pants? Asked Trixie, jaw-dropping almost to the floor. Well, personal friend may be a tad strong, but I do know him quite well, said Rarity, smiling slightly at Spike. Be that as it may, we have work to do, Trixie, she stated, before Spike's bragging gave the poor mare a stroke, as much as Rarity enjoyed it. Trixie took off her shock. Of course, she said, going to the sewing machine and getting to work. Trixie did very well at the work, much to Spike's surprise. You know how to sew? He asked, watching her work at the sewing machines. Trixie nodded slightly. Yes, it's a useful skill for somebody who lives on the road to know. Trixie didn't have time to stop at a tailor every time a curtain or her clothing became torn or ripped. So, it paid to have such a talent. Spike nodded. Well, you're good at it. Trixie smiled proudly as she finished sewing another pass on. She set the dress back on the model so it wouldn't wrinkle. Oh, thank you. Trixie takes pride in her work. Well, you're doing pretty good this time, said Spike. Though, naturally, having Rarity endorse Trixie had a rather sizable say in his own opinion. Where did you learn? Grandmother taught Trixie, explained the unicorn mare as he continued to work. It was one of those things. Trixie had no interest at the time, but she said it would come in handy, and it most certainly has. Spike gave a small sigh. Yeah, so you learned a lot from your grandma? P.S. Headcanon, I still love the idea that Trixie got her cutie mark by performing a stage show for her grandfather, even though she failed at it. Trixie gave a true smile, as true as one Spike had not seen her give, to be honest. Yes, Trixie did, she said, continuing to work. She heard the same biting words clawing her way into her head again. But this time she felt her mind becoming conflicted and decided to change the train of thought ASAP. Why has your opinion of Trixie changed so much, Spike? Spike blinked in surprise. No reason. Just thought I'd give you a chance, that's all. Does this have anything to do with the fact a certain mare has accepted Trixie? Trixie teased. She seen how the little dragon behaved around Rarity, as if it hung on her every word as it came from Celestia herself. Spike looked shyly and blushed. Well, maybe just a little, he said, getting a little chuckle from Trixie. Wow, Rarity, your new line is beautiful, said Twilight, who was now browsing through all the dresses laid out. Rarity smiled, continuing her work. Thank you, Twilight. I've worked very hard on them all. All that's left to do is to sew these few patches on, she said, concentrating more on her work than anything else, until the thread ran out completely. Oh, on the thread, she said, trying out the run to get more. Well, I'm sure your clients will love them, replied Twilight, looking up carefully as Rarity left the room. Twilight didn't notice. My big sister always makes great dresses, said Sleepy Belle, smiling from ear to ear. Twilight smiled down at the filly. She sure does, she said, happy to see Sleepy Belle brag about her sister. So, how are you and the other cutie marketeers doing, my little pony? Now, you see, that is how you use the term My Little Pony in a fic correctly and naturally. We're good. We had a lot of fun, said Sleepy Belle, smiling wildly. Yesterday, we tried being cutie marketeer tennis players. Really? How did that go? Spike looked over and noticed Trixie's long hair was resting on the fairy dress he was sewing. The mare hadn't had a main cut in some kind, and her hair grown out me a bit. Trixie, you may want to... Relax, Spike. Trixie knows what she's doing, replied the unicorn, continuing as she was. But Trixie doesn't need any help. She can handle this, replied Trixie, getting a little angry. So he switched out to the next dress, one with a checkerboard motif, with the theme being rather regal. So he began to sew on as normal, until she noticed the name dress on the tag. Her eyes going wide and a chill going down her spine. Her? No. It can't be! She thought, read the name again, heart racing in terror. It is her! She seemed to freeze up, staring at her tag in fear. Spike blinked. Trixie? Yes, not getting a reaction. Trixie? He asked, putting his hand on her side, attack concern. Trixie screamed in surprise, pressing the dress forward sharply, let out another scream as her mane got caught up in the sewing machine. Spike cringed and covered his eyes. Tried to warn you. Trixie struggled, trying to pull her mane out of the machine, only succeeding in making the situation worse. Spike grabbed her tail, trying to pull her mane out of the vise. So, we had a lot of fun, even if we can never go back to the tennis court again, finished Sleepy Belle, with a smile to a rather confused Twilight. Desi heard the ruckus, Marcus! Thank you, Pinky. From Trixie's accent, and looked over. Oh, what's going on? Huh? Twilight asked, looking at the right side of the noise. Desi saw Trixie's plight. Trixie! She yelled and ran over to her. Twilight grabbed Trixie and pulled, trying to help her dislodge her mane with Spike's help. Trixie's tangled mane finally gave way, causing her to sag off backwards, and hit Twilight in the face with her hoof. Twilight was sent backpedaling right through a window with a scream, while Trixie continued backwards onto a shelf, knocking over to a bunch of mannequins, was knocked over one another like dominoes, setting off a further chaos in the process. Verity walked back into the room as the resulting disaster ended. Verity gave a gasp, looking around the road room in shock. What happened? She asked in surprise, with a slight eye twitch. The glasses then fell at Sleepy Belle with a slight glare. Sleepy Belle blinked in confusion, before realizing what was going on, glaring in return. Hey, it wasn't me this time, she exclaimed, her Rarity jumping as the sewing machine burst into flames. Trixie looked down guiltily as Rarity fixed up her hair, the room still a disaster. Rarity, is Twilight alright? She asked, honest concern in her voice. Rarity nodded slightly, working on getting the tangles out and cutting some split ends. She will be, told Twilight. She just got a few scrapes and bruises, she said to us. She's just going out to the hospital to get checked out to make sure. Trixie nodded, but it looked almost sick to her stomach with guilt. Looks like Trixie is messed up again, she said with a miserable sigh, leaning forwards and letting her forehead slam into the wall, not moving otherwise. Oh, it's nothing, darling. Sleepy Belle has made bigger messes, and I really need to stop setting up my shop in such a way that one little thing topping over somehow sets off a chain reaction that makes the entire room, said Verity, trying to choose her words carefully. She knew Trixie didn't mean to do this. It was an accident, nothing more. She could practically feel the mare's guilt, such as she never thought she'd see from Trixie of all ponies. From the conflicted look on her face, Verity doubted the blue unicorn expected from herself. Besides, you did get about a quarter of the dresses done, was a still to help. The sewing machine burst into flames. Trixie said in a completely deadpan voice, not moving her head from a spot resting on the wall. Oh, that, don't worry. I've got another one. It was just because your mane got locked up in the machinery, I think, said Rarity, looking up at the burnt machine. The bird's dress, which she now had to remake. But it does not mean you can't do anything more today, I suppose. I shall pay you for the work you already did. I cannot blame you for an accident. And I came on the door, prompting Mary to give a growl. What now? So yes, opening the door, only for an orange and yellow streak to fly by her. Hi, Mary! Yelled the two excited fillies as he flew past the mare. Hello, guys, said Rarity, getting a little nervous. Hi, Sleebell! Said Scootaloo and Apple Bloom, skating to a stop in front of Sleebell. Do you folks know how hard it is with just a single mic and a single person to do two voices at once of two little fillies, especially one that has an accent? It's not fun. Please note, I said it's not easy. That doesn't mean it's not fun. I love my job. School went around the place. Well, it looks like a tornado tooth through here. Or an earthquake, said Apple Bloom, looking around. Or a tornado and an earthquake. But Philly said gave Sleebell a look as he stepped back. It wasn't me this time. Why is everybody automatically assume I was the one who fetched Verity's shop? The two simply gave her a raised eyebrow. Sleebell gave a serious look in response. Oh yeah, but how was I supposed to know what the red button did? It was a wrecking ball. What else was it supposed to do? Asked Scootaloo with small glare. I didn't know you were in one. You were supposed to be cutie markers, Stayer basket weavers. Replied Sleebell with glare around. Not cutie markers, Stayer demolition ponies. Apple Bloom blinked, giving a perplexed look. Yeah, Lyle, she's got a point. How do we even end up in that dog anyway? Scootaloo was about to respond but blinked, rubbing her head confused. I don't know. Well, I got bored and said basket weaving was dumb. Then there was that bird, said Apple Bloom, cringing at the thought of the other two. Funny thing was too happy about that, replied Sleebell in a sheepish tone. Yeah, I was afraid she used to stare at us, murmured Scootaloo with a nod. I don't even know how that one ended up with us in Trixie, said Apple Bloom, rubbing her head in confusion. Scootaloo nodded. Everyone knows that the surprising amount of our cutie market tips and thus covered the tree step? Sleebell nodded, equally confused. Yeah, but it really wasn't me this time. Trixie sighed miserably, finally moving her head to the wall and looking at him. Trixie is afraid it was her fault. So no, it was you, said Scootaloo, glaring daggers at the mirror. See, Apple Bloom, I told you so. I guess you were right about her being trouble, Scootaloo, replied Apple Bloom, likewise staring at her. Wait, Apple Bloom? Asked Trixie, blinking confusion. Dizzy cringed in realization. Trixie, yes, you're late, Applejack. Okay, I heard those things. And you're still mad at Trixie for publicly humiliating her? Yep, that's about right. Trixie gave a sigh. Of course. Don't worry about her, interrupted Sleebell, trying to settle things down a bit. Truth be told, she really didn't see anything wrong with Trixie personally. She made worse messes at the top of herself, and Rarity forgave her after all. Can't be all that bad. You know what the thing is? Oh, yeah! Said Scootaloo, white grin. Okay, I forgot, said Apple Bloom, smiling wide as well. Can't I say you can't be triple 30! Trixie was nearly knocked off her host by the massive yell of the trio of fillies, dazed for a moment by the sheer volume of it. She shook her head, trying to get rid of the ringing in her ears. No, Trixie knows what Spike meant. Guess, said Rarity with a sad look, trying to approach this as carefully as possible. I'm afraid we may have to cancel the camping trip. Oh, why? Yeah, what's going on, Miss Rarity? Yes, you promised. Rarity sighed miserably, trying to not look at the three of her fillies looking up at her. Well, I really was relying on Trixie's help to finish everything in time so we could go, she said, not wanting to put the blame on the poor mare, any more than the trio already had. On the sewing machine she was using, burst into flames, muttered Trixie, lowering her head in embarrassment. Rarity couldn't help feeling she looked scared. Yes, so I'm going to have to continue everything myself, continued Rarity with a sad sigh. I'm afraid we're going to have to cancel the camping trip. The three fillies looked down in disappointment. But sis, I'm sorry, sweetie pie, but I'm afraid there's nothing else that I could do, replied Rarity, looking sadly at her sister, heart practically breaking at the sad look in Sleepbell's eyes. Scootaloo and Applebloom both gave Trixie a glare. Gee, thanks a lot for ruining our day, spat Scootaloo barely, glaring at Trixie. Oh yeah, you had to go and wreck our camping trip. You have any idea how long we've been waiting for this? Asked Applebloom, anger clear her voice. Now, girls, you've got the clubhouse, and I'm sure you can find plenty of things to do without bothering Trixie. It wasn't her fault, it was an accident, said Rarity in a stir tone. So you know Trixie seemed rather hurt by their words, something Rarity never expected from her. Come on, girls, let's go, said Scootaloo with a growl, leading the way out of the shop, the other two following suit. Rarity sighed. Sorry about that, Trixie. I know it wasn't your fault, she said, giving Trixie a sympathetic look. Trixie looked up at Rarity. Trixie, was it sure it was or not, Rarity? She muttered. Trixie will leave you to your work, she stated, ending out the door with a head low. Rarity shook her head. I have the poor dear to be all right, she said, looking around her ruined shop, which she had to fix up as quickly as possible to help Applejack in time. She went over to the ruined dress. Now, which dress was this? She asked, leaving the burned but still legible tag. Checker Monarch. Shake, rumble! Trixie, was that you, or was that the studio trembling in fear? Trixie thinks that was the studio trembling in utter terror at her name. Yeah, weird it doesn't do that for any of the other villains we've read on this show. Well, says a lot about some of the other villains we've read, doesn't it, folks? She's coming to pick it up today. Oh, I mustn't be late on this one. She won't tolerate tardiness on my part. No, I won't. Heavens knows what I'm going to do if you're tardy. Trixie, did you hear that? Trixie felt that! I guess I'll just go back to the library and wait for twilight, muttered Trixie, trying along with her head low. Why do I feel so rotten? She asked, thinking about it long and hard. This was an accident. I didn't do anything wrong. It's not my fault. Why should I feel so guilty? She asked slowly, her mind completely and utterly conflicted. I have publicly humiliated dozens upon dozens of ponies all over Equestria, from Manhattan to right here in Ponyville, without any remorse. So why is it now I feel like a complete and utter heel? She asked, laying her long hair almost touched the ground. Why did seeing I ruined those fillies' playdate scare me? She asked, remembering the chill that had gone down her spine at that point. Why had she managed to frighten herself doing that, but none of the other things she had gone ever registered that way? Is it because Twilight and Rarity are so kind to me? She asked, thinking over the two mares who declared her their friend. But that doesn't explain why I was scared when I found out I ruined those fillies' camping trip. With Rarity, seeing her name makes sense, but maybe that's why it scared me. She then heard voices coming nearby. Huh? She poked her head through a nearby bush. Well, this is just great. I told you that Trixie was no good, said Scootaloo, her and the other Crusaders at a clearing. Yeah, you're right, I guess, replied Applebloom, kicking a rock. I was really looking forward to that trip, too. Wait, Mary said it was an accident, said Sleepbell, trying to be the voice of reason if at all possible. We shouldn't be mad at her for a mistake, should we? Oh, wake up, Sleepbell, said Scootaloo, as if Sleep was crazy. Trixie's no good. Probably did it on purpose. How do you know? Asked Sleepbell with a raised eyebrow. Because Sleepbell Dash told me, said Scootaloo proudly. She told me Trixie's got the others fooled, but not her. Besides, Sleepbell, aren't you sore for hurting your sis? Asked Applebloom, confused to clear her voice. Sleepbell looked a little confused. Yeah, I guess. Anyway, what are we going to do now? She asked, trying to change the subject before they went too far down that path. Simple, says Gulu, smirking rather mischievously. Rainbow Dash showed me this really neat spot. Let's go camping on our own. Leia, that's a great idea, replied Applebloom, giving a smile. Sleepbell thought about her second, then nodded. Sounded like a decent idea to her. Yeah, let's do it. Where's the spot? The Everfree Forest. The Everfree Forest! Exclaimed Sleepbell and Applebloom at the same time. Skalu, that forest is full of monsters, said Applebloom, giving a shiver to memory of her past adventure stare. What makes you like camping there is a good idea. Oh, don't be scared. Rainbow Dash showed me the trail. I know how to get us there easy, says Gulu in a confident tone, reminiscent of the rainbow-haired mare herself. What's wrong? You too, chicken. Now, chicken, replied Applebloom, glaring. No pony called an Apple family pony a coward. Sleepbell looked apprehensive, once more trying to think with common sense. You sure you know the way? Scoo nodded. Yeah, like the back of my hoof. And every pony knows the monsters in the Everfree Forest don't come out until after dark. Why do you think Twilight always visits the court during the day? I suppose that makes a good deal of sense, said Applebloom, thinking about it. Alright, let's go. Sleepbell hesitated a moment before nodding. Sure, I guess it'll be alright. But you'll stay after dark, okay? Sure, we'll be out there before dark, I promise, says Gulu, smiling. The other two nodded. Cue Marker Sayers camping trip! Yay! The trio left out of the way. Trixie fell backwards outside the bus as the filly still screamed, unseen by the trio. Ears once again ringing. They're going into the Everfree Forest, she asked aloud, thinking about it with dread. She gave it a shiver, remembering one specific creature there more than anyone else. Took it off as best as she could. Oh well, I'm sure everything will be fine. They know the way. What's the worst that can happen? She asked aloud, trying to sell herself at all possible. They resumed her path towards the library. They're just 3 fillies going camping in the forest. They're just going camping, that's all. Alone. In a dark. Unnatural. Deadly. Monster-infested forest. She muttered to herself, getting more and more apprehensive with each word, dread building in her heart. Trixie gave a sigh, turned around and hanging after the trio. Of all the days for me to actually start caring about somebody else's well-being! She muttered, following the girls towards the Everfree Forest. Again, Trix, it's just weird that when we mentioned her name, that lightning storm suddenly struck. Let's try it with some of our other favorite villains from other fanfics. Let's see. What other good LC villains do we like? Let's try Red Eye. Okay then. It seems we have a winner. Yeah, Trixie, can we go get that checked? I think the studio would benefit from not being emotionally reactive to bad guy names. See you folks in a bit.